Sana Saeed, thank you so much for joining me on How I Made It. You're talking to us from the US, where you're going for a
Yes.
short holiday.
Yes.
What makes you go to US in today's times of COVID?
Oh my God. Actually, it's a little long story because I was here in 2020 and I come for work. And I had come here with my cat. And when I left, I was to film for something in Dubai. And so I left for Dubai and then I couldn't return back to USA because everything shut down. So my uncle here still had my cat and I had to come to pick him up. So the minute I got some kind of, the lockdown cooled down a bit in India a bit, because after Dubai, of course, I came back home. I was back in India and I was there for about 6 to 8 months, but I've just been waiting because, I take him everywhere with me and I had to leave him behind in US and I hadn't seen my cat for 8 months. So I flew down actually to pick him up. It's a wild story.
Go over to the story of your career. You started off in one of the biggest films on Indian screen, Kuch Kuch Hota Hai.
Yes.
And then you did a couple more when you were a child, if I'm not wrong, that time.
Yes.
उसके बाद क्या हुआ? उसके बाद you did Student of the Year, of course, and
Yes.
that proved to be a sort of a game changer when people came to know that Sana Saeed has grown up.
Yes.
But उसके बाद क्या हुआ? I want to know what happened after Student of the Year that we see you diverting towards TV. That came as a surprise.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been somebody that actually thrives on wherever my joy is most. And that doesn't mean that it has to be a film or TV. It means it's project. I did things like I did Jhalak Dikhla Ja, I did Fear Factor, I did Comedy Circus. I mean, to me, these things are on a human level, a lot of more experience. Like, when I did Jhalak and Nachpali, I got to learn. In Jhalak alone, I learned 18 styles of dance in 3.5 to 4 months. When it comes to things like Fear Factor, I feel like I'm a different person after that show because that's how much is on stake when you do shows like that. So even Comedy Circus, I'd never done anything like comedy before. And I've done, film and TV and commercials since I was a baby. So for me right now, this is more about living on a human level as much as I can and making the most of this beautiful thing I call a career of an artist, because there's so much you can sing, you can dance, you can act, you can be a judge and then I was also judging a show for MTV Style Superstar. So then I was also doing fashion. And if to somebody else it looks like TV, but for me it's like fashion, dance, Fear Factor, comedy, films, so I just do things that make me happy. I do things that I feel I learn the most from. And even after that, I took a sabbatical for almost 2 years. I was studying in Los Angeles, and that's why I just told you I have a lot of friends and family here. So I've studied acting and filmmaking, and I'm very much into cinema, not just as an actor, but overall, the whole process is very exciting to me. So at the moment, even producing is something that I'm looking at.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's very diverse. I mean, we have such an individual life that what it looks like to somebody else is very different from where I see my life. And considering that, I'm just, you can say I'm just somebody that thrives on experiences and I just want to enjoy my life and have fun.
So आपको ऐसे नहीं हुआ उस वक्त after Student of the Year कि I should become a front leading heroine?
I mean, there's still time to do everything. Of course, it's not like there weren't opportunities, but there are just choices that you make as an actor on what you rather do. And maybe for me, certain times it was, over some film project that I would pick up a Jhalak Dikhla Ja because I would feel like, no, this is much more, this is more fun for me. This is more like this adds much more to my skill set. as a human. And I just feel like, in this whole rat race of your career and everything, you forget that you're actually living a life that you're going to get to live only once. So for me, it's important. And, I don't think that it's too late to become a lead. I mean, I'm still young and popping, and I can still do movies, and I still have a beautiful, hopefully, fortunately, a beautiful, healthy life ahead to, even experience that if I have to. So I'm just taking one day at a time, and which is what we should all do right now. Take one day at a time and make the most of it.
Yeah, but what you said was that you chose not to do a few projects.
Yeah, like, of course, yeah. I would.
क्या हुआ? वो projects आपको क्यों पसंद नहीं आए?
I mean, maybe I didn't like the role so much, or I didn't like the project, or maybe on like a personal level, I would prefer doing, maybe working with the colors and doing a Jhalak Dikhla Ja, or doing a Fear Factor and doing something like when I did a show like Fear Factor, it's like somebody is paying you to risk your life in the safest way possible. To me, that's big. Like when I finish Fear Factor, I know one thing for sure, that I'm a very different person after doing that show. And I was the first runner-up of that show. And I thought that I would get out of that show in 1 to 2 weeks. That's how less I thought that I could get ahead in that show, because I was so scared to do it. So a show like Fear Factor, I just took it up because I was just like, oh my God, like, I don't think I'm good enough for this. So I have to push myself to do it. And then when I came out being like a runner-up of that show, I was just like, I outdid me. And how many times in life you get to outdo yourself? Or, I don't know. It's for me, I'm telling you, for me, it's just experience. In the middle of my career, I left and I was studying. And I came to, US, and I studied acting and filmmaking. And everybody back at home was just like, you're in the middle of your beginning, like you've just started and you're just like working, and how can you just go away for 2 years to study? And I was like, no, I can go away for 2 years to study. Then I also did an Australian film in a lead role. So I also did an international project after that. Yeah. So I'm just trying to have fun and enjoy my life.
You went through some auditions at least in Bollywood?
Of course, not some. I think I've been auditioning ever since I was 3 years old. That's how much I've auditioned this life. Yeah.
Okay. So if and when you got rejected, did they give you a reason that why they were not choosing you?
No, not really. You never really get a reason for not being chosen. I mean, as an actor, you have to accept, because we do so many auditions, and there are so many rejections in general, like there's so many, not rejections, I would say there's so many times that somebody else gets the part for a better reason. And I've just learned, like, when I get a job that I want to do, then I don't ask the question, oh, why did I get it and why did so and so not get it? So I've just learned to say, like, whoever's best for the job gets the job.
So coming back to Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, you have met Rani and Kajol after that.
Yeah, I met Rani and Kajol in the 22 years of Kuch Kuch Hota Hai party that Karan just had. I also met them at Karan Johar's birthday party while I was doing Student of the Year. And I also met Kajol on the set of Student of the Year, because she had a little small bit in Disco Divane. So she was back on set. So I did land up meeting them quite a few times now and then. Yeah.
Have they given you any tips for Bollywood?
No, no, I think more than anything, Rani, because she played my mother in the film, and I just, I look like her sister now. I won't say Rani looks like my mother. She looks the same. I feel like everybody looks the same, and I've just grown up. So not tips, but she's always been so happy to even know that, I'm still here and I'm also working and I'm around, and she's always like been beautiful when I see her. Yeah, just, I guess if I would ask them for tips, they would give me tips, but I've never asked them for tips. Yeah.
Tell us about your interaction with Shah Rukh Khan. Of course, you met him because he was producing Student of the Year.
Yes, I met him on the set of Student of the Year. I met him also on Jhalak Dikhla Ja when he came to promote his film. I met him again on 22 years of Kuch Kuch Hota Hai. My experience with Shah Rukh Khan has always been lovely. He did start off as being a father figure, but he's almost been, Karan and Shah Rukh are like mentors in a way, because when I was very small, I had the opportunity to train under two very big stars. Like Karan, of course, became a very big star, but of course, if we say he was a star, because he did make a film like Kuch Kuch Hota right then. And I just feel like they're really people that I have had very fond experiences with. I feel on a subconscious level, because I was too small to understand what I was doing, I learned a lot. There's a lot that I still use when I'm acting, and it feels like yesterday that Karan was explaining scenes to me, because that's how many times I saw Kuch Kuch Hota, and that's how many times it gets revised, right, in your memory. Every time you see it, oh, this is what was happening when I shot this scene. Oh, I actually cried when I shot this scene. So yeah, I would just say, like, it's always a beautiful experience. They're very humble. Especially, like, Shah Rukh, everybody knows he's just so humble and he's so loving, and that's just how he was 20 years ago, and that's just how he is now. He's just an extremely good human being. Yeah.
Which project of yours would you call as the game changer?
I think Kuch Kuch Hota was a game changer.
Okay.
Of course, I can't take that away from myself. I didn't realize growing up how important Kuch Kuch Hota would be in my life. I took a sabbatical after I did a couple of films. I was studying, I did commerce, I'm a graduate, I did advertising, client servicing, marketing, diplomas, I studied everything, because my sister was a psychologist and my other sister was, an artist. My dad was a writer, and I was just like, I'm also supposed to like study and figure my life out. I didn't know that it was acting that I would actually come back to. So when I restarted my career, and just like, you have every audition has a little form that you fill that says work experience. And when I had to write work experience, I would just write Kuch Kuch Hota. Like, when I just started, I was like, I think I should write Kuch Kuch Hota. It was not even like, oh, I should write it. I should be
That's
like,
what
maybe
everybody
I should write that I was in Kuch Kuch. But the amount of respect that always got me, I know it's a game changer today, and I'm very now I feel very grateful for the opportunity. Growing up, I felt like, I did something when I was small, and you don't realize how big it was. You don't know who Shah Rukh Khan and Karan really are. You're too small to understand these things. But of course, when I grew up, and just so many people, even when I come to like the US and stuff, every Indian here has seen Kuch Kuch Hota Hai. Everybody knows you. And now I know, like, wow, like that film changed. It's like, sometimes they say when you're the age of 5 to 8, the things that you love to do, you eventually land up doing that. And when I look back at my life, I feel like, oh wow, I already knew that I was going to be an actor. Maybe it just took me so many years of trying other things. I also came back to acting like, I had fun doing it as a child. Let me try it again. I didn't do it like, oh, I didn't grow up ever thinking that I was going to be an actor. I would tell you vet, astronaut, diver, everything. I wouldn't say actor. But I just thought I'd give it a shot because I was good at it when I was a child. And I was like, I can't understand what else to do. So let's try this also. And, of course, then the whole process eventually that I fell in love with, and I was like, oh my God, I actually really love it. I love being on set and I really enjoy this. So yeah, Kuch Kuch Hota is a game changer. I mean, I think anybody in my place should say that.
Have you bumped into anybody from Student of the Year?
I think it's been a while. I did actually, yeah. When I was studying in 2000, which year was 2016, Alia, Varun, Siddharth, Karan, everybody had come here because they were doing another project together or something like that. So I bumped into the entire crew there. Yeah. But I did meet Varun a couple of times also at I think some kind of a reunion party or some party or something like that. I've seen Karan, of course, many times because I did Jhalak Dikhla Ja and he was on that. And I did bump into Varun maybe a couple of times after that. Yeah.
Okay.
And Kayo, and I bumped into Kayo. I bumped into Kayo at Bandra Starbucks a couple of times. Yeah.
To conclude, I must ask you,
Yes.
what we have got from certain actors,
Yes.
when we interviewed
Yes.
them recently, is that
Yes.
many makers in today's
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
look at your Instagram following
Mm-hmm.
before they choose you. They
Mm-hmm.
prefer to choose people,
Mm-hmm.
or at least the youth, who have
Yeah.
a higher number of
Yeah.
social media followers.
Yeah.
Has it happened with you?
No, but I definitely know that people look at your Instagram, because I also look at people's Instagram. Like, like the minute you hear about somebody that you don't know, the first thing you do is you type their name on Instagram, because you almost have a feeling of their entire life from a social media site. So definitely, but I also feel that having said that, I just feel like things like social media have now become, it's a business strategy, because the world is so digital right now. So I kind of feel like it is business, and in a way it's the right thing to even do. Like, if I want to bring you on my show, I know if you're coming with a 5 million following, you're bringing at least 1 million already to my show. So I look at it as a business strategy. And considering that, I feel like that's just the new world that we live in, and we're all going to have to learn to live in it. And more than anything, like, we make so much money on things like social media, right? Like brand products and constant shout outs, and you're working with so many watches and bags and things. So I just feel like, just like how we used to like go audition and do ads, now we kind of can promote ourselves, and it gives so many artists an opportunity to be creative and to make something out of themselves without really you know doing how we started off. I feel it's an opportunity if you can really use social media in the right way. I feel like it's a great business strategy, and it's a great opportunity to do everything you love and put it out there. Yeah.
But is it necessary that the person who has a higher Insta following and is chosen is the right
Mhm.
person for the role always?
I
Because
mean,
we have chosen him on the number of the followers that he
of
has.
course, of course, of course. No, I definitely feel from an actor's point of view, I would not agree. And I would feel like, no, I mean, it's unfair if I'm more talented when it comes to acting, but you just have a better following because of maybe TikTok or other platforms that you're on that I'm not on. So of course, I don't think it's fair if I have to think of it that way. But if I have to see on the whole where we as a world stand with social media, I just feel like it is a business strategy. It's a new kind of world, and we're gonna instead of complaining, we're gonna have to find the best way we can also make use, because somebody else doesn't have an edge over you on Instagram. You can do these things too. You can also create content, have a YouTube channel, have be active on other social media if you feel that you also need to put yourself out there. I just feel like it gives everybody an individual equal opportunity to create content. So I just feel like it's a new world, and we have to learn to get with it.
You
Yeah.
have plans to turn producer. तो आप क्या करेंगे जब आप casting कर रहे होंगे? Of course, the director will have a say in that.
Everybody
But
has a
when it
say.
comes to
Yeah,
your input, will you necessarily, or will you at least have a look at the social media?
I just feel from an act of course I will always say from an actor's point of view, but on the whole I feel when it comes to casting, you have to do what's best for the character that you've written. Now, whether that character comes with 5 million followers or comes with 5 followers, I don't think that is something that um just like I said it's a new world. We have to get with it. I'm not saying that, oh my god, I'm so excited, thank god this is here. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that this is the new way to live, and if you don't live like that, then you'll just be left complaining. So it just really, for me, it will always depend on the script and on the character that is on my script, and of course my director. It's teamwork. It's never one person's choice. It's always so many people that are involved in a project. Yeah, it's everybody's baby in a way.
Are
Yeah.
you obsessed with the number of followers you have? You wake up every morning and check कितने बड़े हैं?
No. I'm not obsessed. I'm mostly not obsessed with a lot of things because as much as I'm in the current digital world, I've also seen things like MSN Messenger come and go, ICQ come and go, Facebook came and then it became very slow. So I feel like Instagram is here. Tomorrow there'll be something else, and then there'll be something else. So my world can't stop at one. Tomorrow somebody else could buy off Instagram and it's over. TikTok, India banned TikTok and it's gone. We can't live our life on what happens on the outside. So I'm not obsessed. But of course, having said that, it's not that I'm not active, and it's not that I don't consider it as a business strategy. I do understand that what I put out now as an actor, my audience sees it. Somebody that may want to work with me sees it. So I'm definitely conscious about the content. I'm definitely trying to put out content that is meaningful to me and I like personally. Like I won't just, do what I did on Facebook when I was 16 years old. Like only my friends and family are watching me. Now I know the world is watching. So yeah, but I'm not obsessive because I've seen things come and go, and that's just change is inevitable in life. So it's just crazy if I have to be stuck on something. Yeah.
Thank you, Sana. Thank you
Okay.
for joining us at ETimes.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, Vicky.